An Amnesty International report said that by October last year, 122 cases of extrajudicial killings had been reported in Kenya. Compare that to about 176 in the entire continent. That's 122 out of 176 in just Kenya alone. I've got with me now Abdullahi Boru. He is an East Africa researcher at Amnesty International. Thank you for coming in tonight.
My pleasure.
Stories like these we're reporting are becoming more and more regular, according to your research.
Yes, it is. I think one of the things that we need to bear in mind that the government has developed these reflexive methods of dealing with whenever we have a contemporary security reality. One, in the early 80s when we had, highway robberies, we formed the flying squad. What did they do? The same thing. We had problems with Mungiki, Kwekwe squad was from the same thing. We had problems with terrorism, we had anti-terror police unit. So I think it is one thing that binds all these special units is extrajudicial execution. And the trouble is, a lot of the time you realize that these cases are hardly reported. People are living in mortal fear of the security agencies because they are warned, the moment you speak to a human rights group and the media, we will come after you.
But you see, the public sometimes support these extrajudicial killings, if you want to call it that. The case from Italy, which over the last couple of days, a lot of people have been talking about, and overwhelmingly, the public support seems to be in favor of the execution. A lot of people seem to support the police officers that basically shot this young man in cold blood.
Two things. One, the fact that the public supports the execution and somewhat even cheering is a thorough indictment of the lack of faith of the population in the entire criminal justice system. If the system worked, people would have trusted the security agencies to arrest, investigate, and the verdict is given. It is an indictment of our security. Again, when people say, "Oh no," the reason as to why a lot of people are not in favor of this is because you have not gone through the hands of superpower.
Right.
If superpower are reigning supreme in parts of Isli, it's an indictment of the security agency. It's an indictment of the state because the primary function of the state is to protect life and property of its citizen.
The argument appears to be that if you take them through the criminal justice system, they will likely get bail after a couple of days and released back on the street to wreak more havoc.
Absolutely. If anybody is allowed, if it's a bailable offense, why shouldn't somebody be denied bail? The other thing is, one of the things that a lot of people do not wrestle with respect to bail and also trying to pass back to the judiciary is the fact that a lot of the time police do shoddy investigation and then blame it on the judiciary. The judiciary cannot do your job for you. The police need to tighten up their investigation such that when they take the matter to the judiciary, the judicial officers will do what is right.
You rights groups are almost idealistic in how you want this to be handled. You live in an utopia kind of world where everything is perfect and the criminal justice system works. In this country, it almost never works.
That is not utopia, Larry. We can fight crime within a proper framework. It's not for lack of laws. For instance, I'll give you an example with terrorism. We have the primary principle law of fighting terrorism, that is Prevention of Terrorism Act 2012. Outside that, we've got subsidiary legislations, around 21 of them. Can we say really it's because we do not have the laws? If the problem is the law, why don't we change the law? So a lot of the time, what I see is because in the heat of the moment, people have died, a lot of bad things have happened. People just want clear, instant coffee justice. But that is not how justice works. The law has to take its course, let the police do the investigation, and then people probably might have faith in the judicial system. In
your most recent report, you talk about just the prevalence of these extrajudicial killings in the country. I understand your research is now more updated, you have more recent numbers, but what is your recommendation?
For us, really, this has become a serious problem. We are urging the president actually to form a judicial commission of inquiry with an expansive power to even summon some of these officers who've been implicated, their juniors and the seniors, as well as visit some of, ungazetted areas where some of these people are being kept. Short of that, this is going to be a pandemic and we will not be able to deal with this because this method of extrajudicial execution doesn't solve the problem that we are trying to address. In fact, it is counterproductive and ineffective as a method of crime management because when you're dealing with crime, one of the center of gravity is the citizen. Right. It's the community. Once you antagonize the community, because it's the community that knows who are the bad people within the community, then you will be able to have easy access. But once you antagonize the community, and we know for a fact there is serious trust deficit between the security agencies and the communities, and it's a function of the way the police have been responding to crime.
Okay.
So I think, sorry.
All right, I want to leave it there.
Yes.
I appreciate all your insight coming in tonight and just helping us understand this very complex issue.
Sure.
Abdullahi Boru
Thank you.
with Amnesty International. He's research in East Africa.